Hi, today I want to talk to you a little bit about behaviors and challenges and, just some of the things that you're facing as a parent moving forward. Maybe you've done the Family First program and you've had some really good days and you have seen some changes, but then you have a really bad day. And what I hear from parents is, oh no, we're back at day one, we're back at square one, that things are starting to unravel. And I understand that fear. For me, I always have a lot of things that I'm juggling, and so when things are going well, I can feel like I can manage. But if one thing starts to look like it's not going well, I have a tendency to jump to the everything's going to fall apart. But I just want you to have more confidence, not just in Family First, but in yourself, that it's not all going to fall apart, that you are going to have challenges with your child. You would have those challenges if they didn't have the mental health and behavioral problems that they have had and still have, but you are for sure going to have those challenges with that. So some of the behaviors that you see, some of the things that your child does, that's their tendency. That's where they lean. Like all of us kind of have our weaknesses. We have our way we deal with things. Maybe we can't necessarily change those all at once, but just being aware of that's our tendency, that we know that sometimes we get really low, or sometimes we get really overwhelmed, and so we know that the world is not ending, but that we just have to work with that and take that into consideration. So how that works in parenting is that I just really want to encourage you that if your child is having a bad day or a bad week, or we've had some good days and then they hit a rough spot and you have that feeling like it's all happening again, this is where all of your tools and all of the training comes into play. Because the truth is the habits and the way that things have been in your home, in most cases, have been going on for a long, long time. And it takes a long time to unlearn and to do it a different way. And even though you have been trying to make these changes for a long time, using these tools and doing these things, it also still takes time and patience. And these aren't just quick fixes. I wish I had a magic wand that I could give you, and tomorrow morning we wake up and your children would be agreeable and healthy and willing to cooperate and say yes mom or yes dad. But I can't do that, but you are doing that each day that you require that. So if you've had some good days and then you have a bad day, just go back to the basics. Remember that you got to keep them close. Look for those places where you started to kind of let up a little bit because it was going so well. And remember that we're not there yet, and that's what our child is really showing us when he or she kind of really bombs out of whatever's happening. They have a meltdown, or they take something, or they lie. They're telling us they're just not ready yet. So we're not there yet. We wish it could be different, but it's not. And the truth is that with some people and their mental health, they are going to have to deal with this their whole lives. And as their parent, we are going to have to deal with it too. We just get to choose how we're going to deal with it and in what ways. And so we are also in that process of teaching the kids how they are going to have to deal with it. So when I say that this child needs to be on a schedule and that we need this kind of structure, it's because ultimately I want that child, when they're old enough to manage their own schedule, to realize I need a schedule. I am a structured person. I need this in order to function well, that it's not a punishment, but it's an aid to help them. So right now, you're kind of their executive brain and you're helping them to do these things. And so I just want to encourage you to just not get discouraged and to use those tools. We do see after about 30 days, we see like a lot of changes happen in that time period, and then there'll be kind of a little bit of a lull, and then some anxiety on the parents' side about what we do going forward, because we're halfway through the program. But don't worry, the tools are still the tools, and the habits still have to be change the habits that were there into new habits. And creating new habits takes time, just like it takes time for us as parents to learn to use our connecting words and to use our social language skills to model those for the kids. And just please don't get discouraged that it's so much teaching, because it really is. Your primary role really is as a teacher and part of the treatment plan for this kid. If they've had these problems, it's going to take time, but you know what to do now, and that's the biggest difference between before you had the program. So trust the process, trust yourself and the tools, and if you don't trust yourself, it's okay to send me those worried texts about, oh my gosh, everything's falling apart, because I will help you and encourage you, and it will be a lot like this video. So have a good day and hang in there. You are a hero.